Space nerds, be me. I just woke up this morning, was getting ready to get into the weekly news cycle, check up on all the things, what's going on. Got over to Twitter, wanted to see if anything could drive me nuts for the day. And turns out it was a new ship from CIG. This popped up. And it looks like we're even more Dune than we used to be now. The Aurora Mark II is here, and it has been revealed by CIG. We're going to watch the trailer for it and all the stuff about it, because, oh my gosh, I think there's a lot more to it than just this look. It's supposed to be modular, according to their leaks and their own little teasers over the last week, so let's see just how impressive this thing is, because I'm surprised by it, and then we'll talk about what this actually means for the game. Here is the trailer for it very first.
With an idea.
Dude, oh, I would have taken that Polaris out.
Boundless possibility. Our desire to learn all we can in this universe we call home. And to carry that knowledge forward, so that each discovery we make
RSI just patting themselves on the back here. I mean, you got a lot of ships. Flex it if you do. You've been around for 800 years, you better.
And so, as we move onward through great unknowns, ever connected to those wondrous first steps that began our voyage so many years
Solid.
ago.
Great editing.
Each evolution carries us forth on our infinite
So here's the Aurora,
to tomorrow.
the gold standard of the original Aurora.
And now, I believe the future is just about ready. Let's take a look, shall we?
Dude, that is... I would honestly hesitate to even call that an Aurora. Besmirching the name with these sleek lines. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun to look at. All they need to do is just start flapping.
Aurora and beyond.
Looking like what,
Robert's
4 size
Space
2s?
Industries, delivering the stars since 2075.
I'm sorry, 900 years. My mistake. So there's a lot to get here. I mean, this isn't even getting into the fact that there are some features here that I'm surprised to be seeing coming back in on a ship, especially one that's like this. Now, the Aurora Mark II would be the second version of the original starter ship for Star Citizen. What I want to find out is this supposed to be another starter ship, or is this in another ship entirely? So let us... I'm wondering if they put in a behind the ships episode for this. That might be coming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm betting behind the ships is coming tomorrow, so there'll be a lot more conversation then. But the main page is up. The new era of Aurora begins tomorrow. There's a lot of conversation to have about what this means for the old Aurora. Same goes for the Hornets, which also have a Mark II. Those are the only 2 ships with Mark IIs right now, but there's that conversation's a big one to have. Maybe we'll have a podcast about it or something coming up here shortly. Okay, there's nothing else here. It's literally just a trailer right now. We're gonna have to learn more about it probably tomorrow. What we can get from it, the things that they're kind of showing in the background here. It's got the fan VTOLs, which are a callback to the classic Constellation commercial. So they're really trying to hit the not nostalgia, I want to say, but just kind of the callbacks to the history of how much has gone on with the creation of these ships. This was actually an incredibly hyped feature for this ship. It's a spaceship, I know, but the freaking nerds love the idea of these fans on them to help with the VTOL. And there was all kinds of hubbub when the fans didn't work on all these ships until, in the last several years that they do work. And now with things like control surfaces coming into the game and the power systems actually mattering when you do VTOL, that is going to matter. And it will probably, there will be a difference made when you're in places of thicker atmosphere. Now we can see some missiles here. 2 here, 2 here. Probably 2 up top as well, so maybe 8 missiles of some sort. That wouldn't be very much. I expect there to be more than 8. You got 4 guns on the sides, they're probably size 2s. The biggest thing, though, is that this is going to be a modular ship. Let's see if this thing is for sale. I don't know if they've put this up for pledge yet, but if they did, it would have modules. It doesn't look like it. So here's really what we do know about it. They said some challenges require a modular approach. This is obviously for the ship that we just saw. It matches the design language, and you know that's just how they work. They tease things that are coming out in the next update. So this is going to be a modular ship. It's going to be a small ship. It looks definitely bigger than the Aurora, but it's likely going to settle into the same area as where other starter ships are now. And that's one of the kind of more interesting things that's happening here. The old Aurora was one of the last chances to buy this game for $45. Now the only one that exists is the Mustang. They have not added the gold standard Aurora Mark I back as a game package here. And at this point, I don't think they're going to. I think that the Mustang is now the cheapest way to get into the game. And their next goal will likely be to create a new version of the Mustang that matches the capabilities of the other starters, like the Generalist starter and the Hauler starter and the Miner starter. All of these, not all of them actually, some of them have beds, but they all have a unique reason to exist as a starter ship and as a kind of way to get into the game. That's what they've been trying to do over the last couple of years, just make these archetypes to join. Eventually there will probably be some kind of a refueling starter ship or a hacking starter ship? I doubt it. Hacking is more of an advanced thing. And you can see they get into the advanced packs down here. But what they're doing with the Aurora Mark II is they're bringing it up to this standard. So expect it to be $75, $80 to buy it with the game. Expect there to be just one more $45 package here. Probably the Mustang's going to be the next one to get updated. And then the Mark I will be a legacy ship that you can keep as a collector's item. As long as they keep it updated and up to the standard needed for 1.0, I'm okay with that. But they can't get carried away with the Mark IIs, in my opinion. Now, we'll talk more about that tomorrow when the Behind the Ships comes out. But I do want to point out the most interesting part of all of this. How much Dune is like the knives, the freaking... this guy... which is, they're working on this for in the game. It's in the game in some ways, but not quite that way. Some of the outfits, like the freaking Space Nomad, just in general, you can see influence coming from Dune, right? But that's not the only place where this happens. It happens in a lot of, like, I made a whole video about how much there are different ships. Let me see, there's like there's a shot in here that literally shows the shot they made. Please leave me alone, YouTube. The shot that they made to look like the Reclaimer here. Right here. You really can see how much they tried to use the fictions of the things that have been inspiring them to create some of these new ships. The Aurora Mark II is no different. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think honestly it makes it a lot more fun for all of the people who get to play this game. You get to find the fiction that you enjoyed and find their little custom-made offshoots of the inspirations of them and kind of live that out in the game. I genuinely, the versions that they come up with, I think, this is better than anything I would have considered they actually made out of the Aurora, the one that the fans made. Now it's going to be hard to find that. This one. Made by, you guys actually gave me the source. Yeah, VMXO. This is essentially... I mean, I was wrong. This is kind of what we got. I was wrong. I said this was not going to happen, man. But they kind of nailed something like this. I didn't think they were going to do the whole split wing thing. I genuinely did not. So props to that. The community. I think actually had some influence on that and the direction it probably went. And I appreciate that. In fact, the guy who designed, let me pull this up over here. The guy who designed the Orion, the Reclaimer, the Collector, I don't know what the Collector is actually, but also the Dune Ornithopter. The Dune, I went about this backwards, Ornithopter concept artist. This is the one we all know, right? The concept art that came out for this, it was designed by the same guy, George Hull. He works on Star Citizen stuff, and I'm gonna bet he probably designed the Aurora Mark II. Looks like he has worked on other films like Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Elysium, Cloud Atlas, WALL-E, Matrix. He's done a lot of stuff. And, you know, that's why Star Citizen has done really well. So they make really sick ships. They make them fairly good, and you get to play all around with them. So here's the Aurora Mark II. We will see just how good or just how cool this thing might be tomorrow when we get the chance to actually experience it. Maybe drop a subscribe here. I'll have your first thoughts here as well as a first impression gameplay look at it because our streamathon starts tomorrow and we'll be playing Star Citizen for days on end. See you in the next one, folks. Thanks for dropping by. Catch you later.